If I see this comment one more time, I'm going to lose all faith in humanity. Glory to Jesus Christ. Welcome back. You are listening to The Voice of Reason. And on today's episode, I wanted to quickly touch on something that has me very, very concerned. And this has to do with a comment that I keep seeing pop up on the comment section of one of my YouTube shorts. And multiple people have been making this comment, and it's very, very, very problematic. The YouTube short that I'm referring to is one that came out actually a while back. It's called Why Catholics Call Priests Father. It is the short where I'm actually addressing a classroom of young students that are asking me questions, and I'm responding to the very common objection from Protestant Christians to Catholics calling priests father, and they object from Matthew 23 verse 9, which is the famous verse where Jesus says, "Call no man father."
Why do we call priests fathers when in Matthew 23 verse 9 it says, "Don't call anyone on earth father"?
Excellent. I love that question. I've done so many videos about that question. Why do we call priest father when Jesus himself tells us in Matthew chapter 23 verse 9 to call no man father? Everyone always brings up Matthew chapter 23 verse 9 where Jesus says that, but no one ever brings up Romans chapter 4 where Paul, the apostle Paul, calls Abraham the father of all Christians 16 times in Romans chapter 4. They also failed to bring up in the epistles of John, in 1 John, where John addresses himself, calls himself a father, and then the people that the church that he's addressing, he calls them, the priests there, he calls them fathers. And also, Paul, in his letter to the Corinthians, says, "I am a father to you in the gospel." And then in his epistles to Timothy, he says to Timothy, "I am your father and you are my son in the gospel." So all over in the Bible, we have the apostles, John and Paul, calling themselves father and addressing other men as father. And in the YouTube short, I point out that even though Jesus says, "Call no man father" in Matthew 23:9, that you have all of these instances. There's literally over a dozen instances in the New Testament of the apostles either referring to themselves as fathers or referring to other people as fathers. So I bring this up in the YouTube short, and there's a comment that I just keep getting. Even today, I've gotten it a few times, and this comment has popped up over and over and over again, and it really has me concerned, because if what these people are saying is true, that undermines all of Christianity. And the comment is this: as Christians, we should follow Jesus, not the apostles. So, for example, one person commented just 2 hours ago at the time that I'm recording this that says, "I will take the command of Jesus anytime above any apostle or man." Another one says this: "Who do you follow, Jesus or the apostles?" So I've been getting this basic comment over and over and over again on this one particular video. And the reason that it is so concerning is because it seems like these people don't realize, these people don't understand that you can't choose between Jesus and his apostles. You have to have both of them, or you have neither of them. Because Jesus himself says in the Bible, in the gospel, in Luke 10:16, when Jesus is addressing his apostles, he says, "Whoever listens to you listens to me. Whoever rejects you rejects me." So if we want to follow Jesus and we want to be obedient to Jesus, we have to follow his apostles. We can't have Jesus without his apostles. And if we want to have Jesus, the only reason that we know about Jesus, the only reason that we know what it was that Jesus taught, the only reason that we know what the message of Jesus Christ is because his apostles were the ones that Jesus left in charge, and they were the ones who went out into the world and preached this message. And they also wrote it down in their writings. So the only reason that we know what Jesus ever said in his life, during his ministry, we only know those things because the apostles tell us. So you can't say, "I believe the words of Jesus, but I don't believe the words of apostles." That doesn't make sense. If you don't believe the words of the apostles, then you have no reason to believe the words of Jesus either, because the words of Jesus were transmitted to us by the apostles. So, again, it's very, very, very concerning that so many Christians are leaving this comment. You can't have Jesus without his church. You can't know Jesus. You can't know what Jesus said, what he taught, what he did. You can't know any of those things without those 12 apostles of his and all of their successors that they appointed, that they ordained, and that they taught the message of the gospel, the message of Jesus Christ. So please, don't leave that comment anymore, because if I hear that comment again, if I read that comment again, I'm going to lose all faith in humanity. I've been crying myself to sleep every single night since I started getting this comment. That's not true. That's an exaggeration. But when I read it, sometimes it makes me cry. Sometimes I'll be like at the drive-thru waiting to get a burrito, and I'll read the comments, and then I'll pull up to the window and I'll be crying, and the poor girl at the drive-thru window is just wondering why I do this every Tuesday because of these comments. So please, friends, really think before you write comments. Luke 10:16, remember, we can't obey Jesus without obeying his apostles. So I just wanted to make this really quick video because, again, this comment concerns me a lot. So everyone, please join me in praying for all of these people that have continuously left these comments in my comment section. Pray for them, pray for me, and I'm praying for you. And remember to like, share, and subscribe. Glory to Jesus Christ.